Quizizz. It's kind of fun to say. Quizizz. Sounds like quizzes plural, but it's quiz is like a state of mind. Quizizz. It's like Kahoot. It's a little different than Kahoot, depending on what you like and what you don't like in your quizzes. This allows students to take their time. It's more paced for them, but it's still got that whole game feeling. So we're just going to do a quick walkthrough of getting in and making some quizzes. Quizizz. So you'll go ahead and make an account. I'm going to go ahead and log in on mine. And when you make an account, you can just use the login with Google and use your district, mybisd.net, or your Google Apps for Education account if you're from a different district. And so you just say login with Google, and it'll probably ask you to fill in some information. I've already done that, and then you'll be ready to rock and roll. So basics, you have the quizzes you've made, you can create, you can get some reports, and you can also import your memes, which is one thing I love about Quizizz, is that when they get it right or wrong, you can put memes in, and so the kids love that. I love it. So let's go ahead and create our own quiz. You can add an image if you'd like to, and we'll just say, let's do a quiz on, used to be a music major, so we'll say music quiz. I don't have a file, but you can upload a file, and we'll say it's public, and we'll say done. All right, so you've got your questions. You can edit your question here. You can edit your quiz info up here. And if you want to do a new question, you hit new question. All right, so first question, you just go ahead and type it in as normal. And then you put in your options. And then we'll say that that one is correct. So pretty standard for most quizzing, okay, pretty standard. You can also do math notation up here. So, or, you know, if you want to have an exponents and things like that, there you can use those. And then if you click right there, there are some math symbols. Okay, people have been looking at these for a long time. So if you need to put math symbols in, plus, minus, divide, greater than, less than, all that good stuff, and even Greek symbols, they're all right there where it says new. You can set the time limit. So this is where I said you could set how it can be self-paced. So each one can be 15 minutes long. That usually gives each kid plenty of time to answer it. You can also set it for 30 seconds, 20, 10, whatever you think is appropriate for that question. So you just go ahead and add other questions in. And then you just choose which answer is correct. So then you're pretty much done with that, and you just say finish whenever you've done all of your questions. And then we say finish. Go ahead and say where we want it to go. So we're going to say arts. And we're going to say music. And we can even put some tags in. I'm not going to put any tags because I'm just going to delete this quiz anyways. But that's if you want to go ahead and put like specific subjects or specific units. So you could say music theory. You could say notation. If you were in ELA, you could put famous literature, just whatever specifically you're talking about within those subjects and topics. And you say finish and create. Oh, grade range. My bad. Select grade. So we'll say this is appropriate for 6 to 8. Okay, and it wants me to add an image. I just don't have one yet. So then when you're ready, you're going to go ahead and play live. You have your settings here. If you want them to jumble the questions, you can turn that on. If you want everybody to be on the same question, then you can turn it off. Jumbling on, jumble answers. So that means the A, B, C, D will be different for every person. Show answers when they're done. So if you want them to know they got it right or wrong, you can turn that off or on, and show quiz review at the end, see what they got right and wrong. Leaderboard, question timer, memes are great. You can also do your own by selecting any that you've loaded yourself, and music. So we're going to go ahead and say proceed. I like all of those settings. Okay, and then you'll have join.quizizz.com and then a code. So we're going to go ahead and play this game in another window. So the students would go to that website, enter that code that you gave them, and say proceed. And the cool thing is if you don't like the name that they put in, it's just like Kahoot and Quizlet Live, those kind of things. You can see the names right here, and if you don't like what they put in, you just click right there and you kick them out and say, do it again. Make it appropriate. Okay, so there's waiting. That's all I want. So I'm going to say start game as a teacher. And I'm going to come over here, and here's my quiz. I'm ready to go. What clef is typically called the G clef? And you'll see that I've got my timer. It's counting down. So I will get more points the faster I answer, but I do have all that time to answer. And I believe we'll treble clef. And we got 810 points. See, there's one of the memes. Super fun. And if there were more kids, you'd see a leaderboard right there. We're going to get this one wrong. How many beats does a quarter note receive? Well, I know it's 1, and depending on the time signature, it could be more or less. But typically, it's 1, especially if the quarter note gets beat. So we're going to pick 2, because I know that's wrong. Oh no, and meme. All right, and then we're all done. Game over. I get first place, and all the kids would see what place they were in. And there's my review, my accuracy, and my final rank. So I'm going to go ahead and close that down, and we're going to go back in here. And so it's over. I can review the questions. I can also export the results, and I could play it again. Pretty self-explanatory. Kids love it. And one of my favorite things about Quizizz is all of the awesome quizzes that are already in the system. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple of those. So there's tons of them. Now keep in mind, anybody can make a quiz. So if you see a quiz that you like, look at it first, edit it for yourself. So we'll say middle school, and let's search for technology. Okay, let's see, you can also look, some people have hearted some of these, they've liked some. This one's been played 684 times. That's probably a pretty good indication. So let's check out that one. This is one somebody else has made. They've already uploaded pictures. They've already checked all the answers. You can decide if you want to see the answers. But this is pretty much, and you can see the times, all that good stuff. And so if you want to use it on your own, then you just say duplicate. And it gives me my own copy of that, so I can edit these things now. If we go into the edit screen, then we can actually change what they say. We can maybe reword one of these if we don't like it. If we don't like one of the pictures, we can do that. And then from here, you can also move them around. Great, fantastic, all that good stuff. So I'll go ahead and say finish. And then I'll go ahead and say finish and create because I copied it. I'm not actually done with it yet. And so now that one's in mine. That's why it says 0, because it's not the one that we borrowed. I've copied it into my own. And then you just say play live, join, and then there's a code again. There's also a homework feature. So if you click homework, you can say when you want them to start it, or I'm sorry, when you want them to complete it by. You say proceed, and then you give them this information. You can share it on Google Classroom or whatever LMS that you might have. Homeroom, Schoology, Ed Backpack, Canvas, Canary. I can't remember all of them. Anyways, so you just give them that information. Join Quizizz.com with the game code, and they have to go in and complete that for their homework. So it's definitely on their own time. And then up here, you also have all of your quizzes in one spot. You can create again from that button right there. Let me go ahead and go back, leave. Any reports that you've ran. So, and then your memes, if you want to upload your own memes, which is a fairly new feature, but it's really cool. Haven't had a chance to do it, but I think it's great that you can put your own memes in. So that's Quizizz very, very quickly. Use it, have fun. Kids will love it. You'll love it. Enjoy.